getting any kind of notice about being live or anything like that. What
Wait,
was that?
I just did.
You did?
There
No
we are.
way.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Terrific.
wait, is there anybody in this one?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
Tell
see.
everybody to switch over to the new feed, please. We're doing everything we can at the moment. I just had this conversation on Friday at work about technology. Last week we started right on time. Today, 8:28.
Okay,
All right.
let me turn down the volume. There we go.
All right. So, Ronnie, let's restart the show that we just started.
Yeah,
So, here's what's going on.
we probably had our funniest material while we were not live.
And you know
You
what?
guys missed it, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were on spot on.
Woo!
Ronnie was funny,
It was gold.
charming.
I think, think that goes without saying.
Yeah, I think so. You're the full package, is what you are. You're the whole package. Okay, so welcome to the show. This is Men Are So Smart. All rise.
Everybody,
No, come on, all of you, get up. Brad, I see you.
Abby, come
Come
on.
on.
Abby, get up.
So, all right, be seated. Very good. This is Sunday Morning Mass. The format for this show is fun. That's it, Ron. Just fun stuff. On today's program, something very new I think you're going to enjoy. Cooking with Lou.
Oh,
As you may or may not be aware, as a smart man, I am sometimes called upon to make, let's say, extravagant dishes.
dang.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure. I don't
Yeah.
really, I don't know how I get through it, but today I'm going to share with you an old Gallagher family recipe, which you're probably going to want to write down
Well, that's
so
fitting
that you
since
have
it's
it.
coming from an old Gallagher.
Exactly. And you might even, this might be something you want to serve for Thanksgiving. And that's why I do this in advance of Thanksgiving, because I'm a giver. That's what I do. I give, give, give.
There's a rumor that Thanksgiving
Yeah.
was named after you because of all your giving.
I didn't want to say it, Ronnie. I'm glad you brought that up.
I've heard it,
Yeah.
and so I had to put it out there.
Mhm. Well, giving all the time, and that's what we do here on the show. So we hope that you've all joined us from the other chat room to this one.
Got 14 watching. Should we acknowledge some of our watchers
Yeah,
here?
please do, Ronald.
So we got Rick Clemenson.
Rick.
He was the first one in the room.
Yeah, he was the first one on my radio show yesterday, too.
Good job, Rick.
Attaboy, Rick.
Sasha,
Hello, Sasha. Good morning to you, dear.
Anagram, and Copper Dan.
Copper Dan, boy, there's a
Let's see.
good viewer of the show.
We got Abby,
Ebby7.
Kurt Hensley.
Kurt, how you doing, man? As I always say,
2
you
weeks
got
in a
some
row.
great posts on your page. I really do enjoy them. And no, go ahead, Ron.
Jason.
Hey, buddy,
Is
dear. Since
it
I
a
called
bowl of
Sasha.
on time?
What did he say?
if
Is it a
you're
bowl
if that's
of my
your
recipe?
recipe.
All y'all lay off.
And then Jimmy Fast, or as I like to call him, Jimmy Slow-Mo,
Slow-mo.
and Alan K. And that's it so far.
Beautiful day in San Jose. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, since you brought up a location there of San Jose, what I thought we might talk about in the first part of the show here is gas prices, Ronnie.
Yeah.
And
I'm curious to see what San Jose's gas prices are. Regular gas in San Jose. How much is that?
what is the price?
Alan K.
I drove through three little communities to get to your house. It was Antelope, Citrus Heights, and Orangevale.
Not to mention Fair Oaks also.
Oh, okay. And so I saw a lot of AM PM, which is our convenience store of choice. The lowest price I saw was $3.69 for regular unleaded.
Okay, Christopher Robin, I have to know, where are you?
Yeah,
He says 215 for regular.
Santa Fe. Jimmy Fast says Santa Fe 250.
250 in Santa Fe. You guys are killing me.
Alan K says 398. Is that San Jose? Was that who wrote that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Wow. Okay, so he's right on par with us. So San Jose, Sacramento, pretty much.
There is a meme on social media going on right now that shows the price of gas per gallon at a California gas station, and right across the street is the border, and it's like $2 cheaper.
Right.
How is that possible?
I also like the meme where it says regular and it has an arm,
Uh-huh.
and then it says premium and it
Mhm.
has a leg.
Leg, yeah.
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 So
In California, we have so many taxes on gas. And one of the things, I don't mean to get too political here, and I don't think this is, but
wow,
one of the things that's going on here,
226 in Kansas.
oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Why? Well, gas taxes have been added through previous elections uh, to improve road conditions. And yet, California consistently comes in number one as the state for which car repairs are the highest.
Right. For
And because of, wear and tear.
potholes.
Exactly what it is.
On Craigslist, I saw a 2-bedroom, 1-bath pothole. It was pretty reasonably priced.
Did you get the number for me?
I'll save it for you. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, because as long as does it have a garage?
It had a small garage,
Okay.
a carport, actually.
Because that's what I need.
Yeah,
That's
it was a
where I spend
carport.
all of my time is in the garage.
Carport in the pothole.
And these potholes and these road conditions are not being fixed.
No.
I work in a very small community that's north of Sacramento called Woodland, and it's a city of 60,003. And every time there's a pothole that develops, the crew is out to fix it. Every time. However, as soon as it rains,
The pothole reappears.
it's just more of a mess.
Yep.
That's what it is.
So Lori James says 309 in Salida, Colorado.
Okay.
And 255 in Indiana for JT.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Graham says 264 to 295. There's a 31-cent spread where she is. So
Mm-hmm.
probably talking an Arco. I don't know if they have AM PMs back everywhere. I
I
don't know.
don't want to sound like a simpleton, but shouldn't gas be about $2 a gallon?
It seems like that's about right. I saw something not too terrible long ago where gas in Venezuela was 29 cents a gallon.
What?
Yeah, because they're sitting on top of freaking oil fields there, so they can.
Well, see, that's one of the caveats to this is, well, you're in California. We got to transport it further.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand that if it's Hawaii.
Hawaii is about $1 higher.
Yeah, that's got to
Hawaii
go by
is
ship.
higher. Yeah. Um,
What's that comment there from Christopher Robin?
He says on average, federal tax is about 18.4 cents. State tax 27.3 cents.
That's California.
Local tax is 4.3.
There's the local tax right there. That gets you every time.
Yeah. And we
I'm
just
sick of it.
So voters just about a year ago approved a ballot measure to raise our gas taxes 100% to go towards road repair.
Right, and tell them what happened.
And the fools that Californians are, we voted it in because we believed them.
Second time.
And I don't see anybody out there fixing any roads.
But our schools win too.
And they're also falling apart. I have a bad feeling where all the money is going, but again, without making this too political, I just can't imagine how they can continue to fool us like this, and we just keep going for it.
As my mom used to say, consider the source.
Let's see. JT says when he started driving, gas was the same as a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, me too.
57 cents.
Right, I remember. Beacon at El Camino in Walnut.
I remember Beacon. So I'm a little bit older than you.
Slightly.
And I remember Marconi and Watt had 4 gas stations, one on every corner.
Oh, where that Jack in the Box is?
Jack in the Box is there now.
There's a gas station there.
And there's an oil change place across the street from that. Right now there's 2 gas stations. There used to be 4. And I remember sitting at the corner of Marconi and Watt, and the gas prices said 23 cents a gallon. And then one of the gas stations would put out a new, those little sandwich boards?
Yeah.
Put out a sandwich board that was like a gigantic chalkboard.
Right.
And they wrote down 19 cents. 19 cents a gallon for gas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in my days, we can do that all we want. But what I'm saying is, in today's world, gasoline should be about $2 per gallon.
Well, I don't remember the roads being as bad as they were back then when gas was 19 cents a gallon.
Have you gone down Fulton Avenue in the last year?
Not in a while.
Oh my, Ronnie.
But Madison is terrible too. Madison is a major thoroughfare from one side of the county to the other,
Yeah, it is.
and it's awful. It is really, really awful.
I mean, potholes to the point where if you hit it just the right way, you will dent your rim.
yes, yeah,
Guarantee you.
yeah, yep.
And how do we find this acceptable? How can we stand for this?
Drain the swamp. Yep, getting political there.
All right, maybe we'll move on with that note because
Yep.
we've got lots to get to. Don't forget my Gallagher family recipe coming up.
Yeah,
Last week, Ronnie, when we did Mantasy, we did presidents,
yep,
U.S. presidents, and my picks were my favorite president of all time, Ronald Reagan,
yep,
and then I picked George Washington, the father of our country,
yeah.
and then I picked,
Jimmy Carter.
I did,
Yeah.
I caught holy hell from my wife on that.
Oh, on Jimmy Carter?
Yes. And you know, I remember my exact words. I said, I never agreed with him politically or
Right.
his views. I stated that. That wasn't enough for her.
But his humanitarian mission,
I tried to explain that to her, and she's aware of that.
he's fallen down a couple times doing this,
Mm.
and he just had to have surgery to
Yep.
relieve pressure on his brain
Yep.
from a couple of the falls that he's
The
taken.
pressure on his brain is from my wife.
The
Sorry, I
man,
don't mean to mail it.
the man is a saint. I mean, seriously, yeah, as a president, yeah, maybe not so much. Now, I had JFK
Right.
was number one.
hmm
I had Abe Lincoln.
hmm The tallest president of all time.
I can't even remember who my third one was, and I cleared my fantasy draft.
No, me too.
I can't.
I won,
Millard
Ronnie.
Fillmore. I know it wasn't Millard
I
Fillmore.
won last week. We had
I
Lou
know.
and Ronnie Fan 500 play with us, and
Yep.
he got one vote.
Okay.
Which we'll decide whether we want to do that again today or not.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, I
know.
think it's safe to say that Lou and Ronnie Fan 500, your pick sucked because he's not here. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
so we
but
can say that.
last place, you don't get to play again.
You're out.
Yeah,
You're off the island. I still love you though because of your name.
yeah, me too. So don't think there aren't repercussions from us doing this show. It bleeds over to our married life. Trust me. My wife, she is such a conservative.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon. Maybe we should have a terrible president's. Yeah, he's got 3 named here.
Oh, yeah, I bet. That wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be hard. What's he? Does he state them?
Yeah, he's got Bush 2, Jimmy Carter, and Ford.
Jeff
So-
Ford, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well,
So
he used to fall down all the time. Remember?
yeah, he was a little clumsy.
Chevy Chase used to portray him, I think.
Very well too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so today
Oh. Uh-oh. Lou and Randy Fan
I'm late.
500.
He's late. Yeah,
He's
you're-
here.
Probably a good thing you missed.
Don't go back a minute.
No, not that your name came up or anything,
Yeah.
but it might have. Okay, so Mantasy picks today. Did you tell everybody in the last live
So
chat?
in the last room, I told people our Manasy draft for today is epic ad slogans.
Yeah. And
So
we're
if
going to
you
do
think of
that.
some, throw them in the chat. I've got mine already picked,
Me too.
but I may, if I see a winner in there, trust me, it's going to be like my nose. I'm picking it.
TMI. Okay, do we want to have one of our viewers play with us this week? Is there somebody who would like to play?
Yeah.
Let us know on the live chat.
Yeah, you're going down.
And we'll
Whoever it is, you're going down.
seriously. I may have been drinking last night, but I was working on this. Trust me. As I told Ronnie, when there's a new bottle of tequila in the house, you got to break it in. So
It got broken in and then some.
yeah,
It got
to
flat,
be sure.
got flat worn
I
out.
woke up. I tell them I woke up about 2:40 this morning, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a rough morning," but it's okay. I seem to bounce back pretty quickly. Silver Patron is my,
That's good stuff.
and then the other one that I had, I think I already mentioned it on a previous show. Reposado, it's called.
Ooh, yeah, oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Reposado is tequila that's aged in oak barrels. That's what the Posado means. And oh my God, I thought Silver Patron was my favorite. No. Hey, if you all want to send me a bottle, that'd be great. Patron Posado, I think it's called. Reposado, that's it. So yeah. Uh, does anybody want to play? Lori James just won. No, that's not possible. We haven't even done it yet. Ronnie, something I wanted to get to before we go too much further is Thursday night football.
Oh God, wow. I don't know if we have people that watch the NFL football. I don't. Even if you don't watch it,
You've seen the highlight.
if you own a TV,
You've seen it.
you've seen it.
Uh-huh.
Where Myles Garrett
hmm Number
ripped
95,
number 95 on the Cleveland Browns,
Mhm.
who were well ahead in the game.
17 points.
Probably one or possibly two offensive plays by the Steelers left in the game. No way they can come back and win.
Running out the clock.
Myles Garrett pulled off, what's his first name? Rudolph. Is it Mason? God damn it.
I don't know, but he's got a red nose.
Yes.
Not
And-
that Rudolph.
And rosy cheeks. He pulled off the quarterback at Rudolph's helmet
Yep.
and cracked him over the head with it.
Yeah. And I'm laughing, but you know what? I'm watching this live, and I played football for 5 years. I can tell you that is completely and utterly irresponsible, unacceptable, unsportsmanlike, and a lot of other uns.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I loved Pouncey,
Yeah.
the center,
Mhm.
came back for his quarterback,
That's what we do as linemen. I was a center.
got Garrett on the ground,
Mhm.
was hitting him and putting the boots to him. And Pouncey said afterwards, if I get suspended,
It was
that's,
worth it.
That's fine.
Yep.
Because I was doing what I'm supposed to do.
You defend your quarterback. That's
Dude,
what a lineman does.
I have a new favorite center.
Yeah.
He is my new
Well,
favorite
next to me.
center.
Next to me.
Next to you, yes.
I don't center so much anymore.
You should have been a long snapper.
I should have. I'd have made a lot of money.
This would have been
I
completely
was
unnecessary.
very good.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but I will tell you this: there are so many. Thursday Night Football has as many cameras, if not more, maybe, than Monday Night Football.
mhm.
They're everywhere,
Mhm.
and they have a lot of other views. And Rudolph was seriously tugging on Garrett's helmet. Also,
I saw that, Ronnie. I saw that on the replay. I immediately noticed it.
he was really trying to get it off.
Mhm.
So-
Before his was ripped off.
So he's not without some blame here. There's plenty to go around.
Oh, but I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, if his weak little quarterback arms were a little bit bigger,
He
he
would've
might have been
ripped
able
that thing
to cut
off,
cut
yeah.
that helmet off.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then when he had his helmet off, somebody hit him like full speed, knocked him. To
oh
the
yeah,
ground.
yeah. That was some guy. with
Some
a-
guy, is that his name?
Some guy.
Some guy.
I think
Brett.
he's Asian.
Brett. Some guy.
Some guy. It was a guy with like some crazy 6-syllable
Oh, okay.
name. He's a lineman.
All right. You know what? The very first thing that went through my head, and I guess it's just because I'm a dad / grandpa, is there's kids watching.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can claim what you wish. You can say, oh, I'm not a role model. But if you ever have had a little one around, they mirror everything you do.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable. My grandson, he sees me do something one time and he can do it. He'll do it himself.
Yep.
So you,
Well, and then Anagram
what a thug.
added that Garrett took Rudolph down well after the pass had left his hand.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that probably should have been a penalty right there. More than likely, the refs were going to let it go since it was probably going to be the last play of the game.
Mhm.
But he did. He kind of took him down a tad late and then kind of body slammed him and then wouldn't get off of him. Just kind of laying on top of him. It was a little dirty. And I can see where Rudolph would get upset, where Mason Rudolph, that's what, I can see where Rudolph would get upset at that. Dude, you're winning. Okay, no need
That's the
to
goal.
rub my face in it.
Right.
Which literally he was trying to do.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's a little over the top. And you know what? It's sad because
Hi, Sled Deck.
Mason Garrett, I'm sorry, Miles
Garrett.
Garrett, probably the best defensive player on that team. And it's not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. I think he is probably the most talented player on that defense.
Correction was
Was. Sad news came out of the NFL that Miles Garrett will not be allowed to participate in the playoffs or the Super Bowl.
like they had a chance.
Well, you know, if there's a snowball in hell, there's that chance.
Yeah.
So,
Let's check the forecast, the extended forecast for hell.
yeah.
Um,
So there were some great memes going around though, of Mason Rudolph in the after game press conference, and somebody had photoshopped like a big concave in his head.
from the helmet. You know, he didn't actually hit him with the top of the helmet. He hit it with the bottom
He
of
hit
the
him with the
helmet.
opening of the
Yeah,
helmet. Yeah. I mean,
I don't
it
know.
probably. I mean, we've all been hit in the head with stuff before, and my kid goes, "Oh, he's got a concussion." I go, "Nah, you know what? When I was working, I've been working patrol for a long time. I did a long time in patrol. I saw people get hit in the head with baseball bats and not get a concussion. It's
Someone wasn't doing their job.
it's a matter of your brain has to shake around
Right.
inside your head pretty
Rattle.
violently to get a concussion. And so you see it most often when people's head hits the ground. That's when you get that vibration. And that's why a lot of football players, or if you get the helmet to helmet contact, that's enough to send the jello crazy
Yeah.
inside your brain too.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
but getting hit with a helmet, I don't think was going to cause a concussion.
These people are making millions of dollars to run around in long underwear, and we're willing to watch it, says Christopher Robin.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually did when Colin Kaepernick. This is another story we could
Okay.
briefly touch on. When Colin Kaepernick was with the 49ers and he was doing his kneeling thing, I refused to watch football at all.
I remember.
I played fantasy football and it was tough
Because
because
you don't watch it.
I'm not watching. So I wasn't winning fantasy football, but I was still playing. Now that he is out of the league, and there are still, I think there's a couple players that still sit. I'm not sure that anybody's kneeling anymore.
I saw one guy walking.
Okay,
Mhm.
so it's disrespectful. In my opinion, you know what? I would love to hear what Jason Dent thinks because being military, what his take on it is. I think it's just disrespectful to do that during the national anthem. You know what? He was a player in the National Football League. He has a voice whether he's playing or not. He could forward his message anytime, just not during the national anthem, is my feeling. I'm not opposed to his message. Uh, you're allowed to have whatever opinion it is you want.
It's Burka.
It is. So that's great. But you know what? Do it on your own time.
Sledneck says, I took a 9-iron to the head once in 7th grade. What's par on your head?
It didn't seem to affect you. Well, not much.
Yeah, not a lot.
Baseball bat Billy Club, Jimmy Facet.
Kurt
Yeah.
says was watching a football and a game and a hockey game broke out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I say much more, I think I might sound a little hypocritical because I certainly had my share of disagreements with other players,
Right.
but not to that extent, my friends. And you know, another thing too, if you throw a punch at a guy with a helmet on,
That's not smart. No.
no. And you know what? One more thing, Ronnie,
Unless
on
it's a
that.
body shot.
Right. One more thing on that. We had a rule back when football was football, and that was if you were on the field within the 100 yards or the 10 in the end zones each, your helmet had better be on.
Oh yeah.
There was no reason for you not to have a helmet on if you were on the actual playing surface.
Yeah.
If you're on the sidelines, of course, although the coaches would prefer you kept them on anyway because that's part of your uniform.
Right.
But these guys it drives me nuts when I see them. they make these interceptions and they run it back for 10, 15 yards, and then they get up and they take their helmet off and they're running around holding the helmet because they want everybody to see their face.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to see your face one time.
Okay, so here's Jason Dent's weighing
All right,
in.
I'm ready.
It is very unpatriotic and disrespectful to those that have sacrificed to defend the flag and nation. So, Jason, I knew I liked you. We see exactly eye to eye on this. Um, Colin Kaepernick, there's a story floating around that a veteran told Kaepernick because he started out by just sitting during the national anthem. And then a veteran got a hold of him and said, "Hey, it would be better if you kneeled during the national anthem."
Oh,
That's
out of respect?
yes.
Mhm.
Uh, to show your a form of protest, to kneel rather than sitting. Sitting is way too disrespectful, according to this veteran. I disagree. I think that if you're sitting on the sideline, half the stands are sitting also. And I work a lot of high school football games. People don't take their hats off, whatever. But at least if they stop and face the flag, hey, that's a start. But to me, I think kneeling seems a little bit more disrespectful during the national anthem than sitting on the sideline. They're both, I don't know, they're maybe just minutia, just tiny minutes apart. But
Parenting.
yeah, well, Colin Kaepernick had an unbelievable parenting, um, brought up in the 1%. So, and in fact, since we're talking about Colin Kaepernick, did anybody see his workout yesterday?
No.
He had about a 50-minute workout. I watched part of it live. He had his own people there videotaping it, and they were pretty selective. They just showed him throwing. They didn't show a lot of the passes. Some of the passes that they showed, they were very wobbly balls.
As might be expected.
He did not hit anybody in stride, and most of them were high. So he's
The players? Oh, no.
most
The
of his
passes.
throws, most
Okay.
of his throws were high
All right.
or behind the guy. Like I said, he didn't look good to me. If I were, and apparently they only had about 8 NFL teams out there going to watch him.
All teams that are hurting for quarterbacks.
Yes. And then what was really peculiar about this is the NFL said, "Hey, let's do this." I think they were going to do it at the Falcons Atlanta Stadium, the stadium in Atlanta that the Falcons play at. At the last minute, Colin Kaepernick says, "Nope, I'm doing it at this high school stadium." And with my own, because NFL said he could not have media there.
Oh.
Of course, everything Colin Kaepernick does deserves media attention. So he had his own media
Deserves
there.
is not the right choice of word.
Well, according to Kaepernick, he
Okay.
deserves it. Oh yeah, and then his shirt,
Yeah.
it
Steve
said
Klein.
Kita Kunte.
Oh, for God's sakes.
That's what it said on his shirt.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
And you just got done saying he was raised in the 1%.
right. He's never known true black life. And you know what? There are a lot of players out there that came up. Richard Sherman
Oh, yeah.
from the 49ers grew up pretty poor in a very rough part of LA. But he's unbelievably smart. He was with the Seahawks. I hated him when he was with the Seahawks. I love him as a 49er.
I bet.
He's just a smart man, and he did not let his environment affect him. Well, neither did Colin Kaepernick. He did not let his 1% upbringing affect him. He is, I don't know, he's just crazy.
Yeah.
I can go on. This could be a whole hour show.
Well, you know what? Today we're going to go as long as we want to go. I don't even care. If we go an hour or longer, that's fine. I think what I'd like to do, I want to remind you once again that Fantasy Picks are coming up, and today it will be epic advertising slogans, and there are several. How about Plop Plop Fizz Fizz? Oh, what a relief it is.
Alka-Seltzer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I
We're
threw
going to do this coming up.
I threw one out there in the chat. It's the real thing.
Oh, Coke.
Coke. Everybody, man, you can't not know that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of Coke, and I mean as a drink, I think it's time for a new segment on the program, and I think you're gonna benefit from this one.
I'm gonna be woke
So,
after this.
as you may know, as a very smart man, I have come across some recipes that are guaranteed pleasers, and I'd be remiss if I didn't share them with you on our show here today. And so today, in the first installment of Cooking with Lou, Where's the Beef is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to, let me see, I have some supplies here.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start with one of the food groups. Peanut butter.
Oh.
Now, I choose the Jif.
Mm-hmm.
I find the quality to be superior to the other peanut butters. And when you're making this recipe, you want to make sure that you use the best quality ingredients.
All right.
Okay. This is extra crunchy. You may not be aware of this, but you can get creamy.
Right.
You can even, well, I'll tell you what, we'll start there. Okay.
So I have to tell you,
Yeah.
I bought, because I do like the crunchy peanut butter.
Mhm.
So I bought crunchy. The last time I was at Sam's, I found mega crunchy. I opened it up. It was just peanuts.
What
Yeah.
a letdown, Ron.
Yeah. There was no butter at all. Just
Okay,
peanuts.
so now this is an old family recipe that I'm about to share with you here. So what you want to do is you want to get some peanut butter.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing you want to do, and I don't want to go too fast.
Okay. I'm glad this is a videotape because I'm gonna have to refer to
You're
this
probably
later.
going to want to go back and watch it.
I'm already lost.
Okay. Next up, no, stay with me. Okay. I know you can get this.
What is that?
Next up, this they call these plates.
Plates.
Yeah, this is a paper kind.
I'm gonna
You might want to jot that down.
take that.
Okay, so now what we have so far
Okay.
is we have peanut butter, the Jif variety,
Right.
and we have a paper plate.
Okay.
Okay, so
You
now-
put that on there.
No, there's
Oh.
another step here. Hold on.
All right,
But
all
you know,
right, all
I
right.
appreciate you going there.
Okay.
Okay, so next up,
Keep up.
you're gonna have to get yourself a couple pieces of bread.
Ooh, I've seen that.
Now this is white. Whoops, am I going the wrong way? This is white bread, and you'll see there. If you're not familiar with bread, it's the same on both sides.
We actually call that Caucasian bread.
Oh, is that more politically
That's
correct?
more-
Okay, so now let's go. Let's review. We have peanut butter,
Uh-huh.
we have a paper plate,
Okay.
and we have Caucasian bread.
Correct.
All right. So now what I want you to do is get yourself, hold on, get yourself a knife from the kitchen. Stand back, Ronnie. Anything could happen when I have one of these. All right. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to dip the knife actually into the peanut butter.
You don't just put your finger in
No,
there.
no, you don't.
Huh.
No, that's not right.
I've been doing it wrong.
You know of this recipe?
Well, I just take it right out of the.
Oh, okay. All right.
Straight.
You're skipping the Caucasian bread.
Yes.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and I don't want to get too technical here.
How much bread did you bring, by the way?
What kind of bread? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dollop.
Right.
That's a cooking term.
Okay.
I didn't mean to throw that on you without defining it.
'cause
This is a dollop, okay?
Looks
Let's see,
pretty-
where's it?
It's pretty big.
That's a dollop. It looks like a pickle. Okay, now what you want to do is carefully apply this peanut butter
Okay.
to the bread in an effort to spread it out all around equally. You don't want to let it drip off the sides,
Okay.
okay? And so now what you have is something that looks like this, okay?
I'm with you.
All right,
okay.
so now we have the Caucasian bread. We have the peanut butter. Now this is where it gets a little tricky, Ron.
Okay. JT says slow down.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us know when you're caught up. I get it because you lost me a couple times too.
I know. I understand. I go fast because I get really excited. This has been in my family for many, many, many years. Okay, so now this is where it gets tricky. I'm going to assume that you're caught up now.
Okay. So you don't put peanut butter on the other side of this piece of bread?
No, not on the other side. No,
Oh,
it's on
okay.
one side only. Okay. Remember I showed you both sides?
Yeah.
They look the same, but they're not. One side is meant for the peanut
This
butter.
is pretty confusing.
I know. Hold on.
No
'cause
wonder I'm always hungry.
now, this is where it gets a little tricky.
Okay.
This is where the Gallagher recipe comes in.
Okay. Oh,
Next up, check this out.
this is where you lose me.
Jelly. Now, I prefer I know what you're saying. Peanut butter with jelly? Are you kidding me? Yes. No, I mean, no. I'm not
And the
kidding you.
Welch's?
Welch's.
That's, well,
It's a quality brand.
Smuckers, though. You know,
Smuckers are for suckers.
and you know what? In fact, with a name like Smuckers,
It has to be good.
epic ad slogan.
Okay. So now, do I need to back up or are we okay? The live chat.
Looks like everybody's caught up.
Okay, good. All right. So now
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the jelly. Now, normally I would clean this off, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave the peanut butter on there.
That's gross.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some jelly right out of the jar
Right.
and I'm going to put it on this other side of the Caucasian bread.
Okay.
Okay,
My stomach's turning just a little
a
bit.
little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
well, hang in there because you're going to eat it.
I don't eat PB&J.
Oh, you don't? What do you mean?
I
There's a
can-
name for this,
So I can eat a peanut butter sandwich
right?
and I can eat a jelly sandwich.
But you can't eat,
I can eat them back to back,
right?
but I can't have them touching.
Okay, well,
That's gross.
we'll have. You know what we'll do is we'll take this sandwich and we'll mail it to one of our viewers. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the time to spread it out very carefully, and then there's one more step to this in the
Oh.
Gallagher family recipe. Okay, now what I'm going to do, let me make sure that the camera can see what I've done here. So now I have the jelly.
You're about to lose some.
I don't want to lose it. Okay, and now I have the peanut butter here.
Right.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Ronnie. Now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them together like that.
It's like a marriage.
I know.
Yeah.
A good one.
They've just consummated your sandwich.
Yep, I've got a consummated sandwich is what I got. Now, here's what you can do. You can eat it just like this. But what I like is to put a nice little cut kind of on an angle here
Ooh.
through the sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
So each side is equal.
Well, they're not quite equal. One looks a little bit bigger.
Again, for the sake
I'm
of
just
time.
saying, if I were picking, I'd pick the one on the left hand. It just looks
Okay, see,
bigger.
so now what you have is you have your peanut butter.
Right.
But what I've done that's so much different in this recipe is I've added jelly.
Yeah, I want to do that.
And there you go.
By the way, Sasha says that
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't bring the only homemade jelly comes in her house, jams and jellies.
Well, whoop-de-doo.
So, I mean, she must have a little bit more time on her hands than I do.
Exactly. Okay, so there you have it. It's a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, JT says you got to mash it first.
Mash it. I cut it already. I'm not gonna mash it. Okay, so there you go. That's the first episode of Cooking with Lou, and I hope that you took notes. And remember, you can go back.
Go back and run this in slow motion.
Right.
Yeah.
And go back in general, even if you have seen it and you got it,
Yeah.
you can run it in 1x.
If you know what, if Toby's watching, he'll have to watch it a couple times probably to.
Oh,
to
I
get
should have
it.
talked much slower.
Yeah.
I should have. I didn't. Okay, Ronnie. So there you go. A peanut butter sandwich with jelly, and I'd like to thank my great grandma for that recipe,
Can't do that.
and I'm glad I was able to pass it on because as I said, give her.
So I have to tell you, the very first place I ever had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich was when I was like 6 years old. I was on a bus to see the Giants play down at Candlestick Park. May have even been Kezar Stadium back then. Not a fan back then. Not a fan now. I love me peanut butter sandwiches. I have one almost every day. I do not jam and jelly sandwiches. They're also okay. Mix them together. You totally lost me.
I don't get it.
We actually have, I think it's Jif peanut butter in our cupboard that has jelly in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
They're swirled up together.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it.
No, huh?
No, can't do it.
See, I buy that with the peanut butter with the jelly, but I feel like I'm putting people out of work.
You kind of are. Yeah, you know what? That's very patriotic of you to be thinking of them.
Again, giver. That's me.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronnie, let's take on some of the live chat while we have a minute before we move into Madison.
Let's see. Jimmy Fast says you need to cut it diagonal and then mail it to him.
Okay, in slow mo.
Let's see. Copper Dan, my nephew used to ask me, Uncle Dan, can you make me peanut butter and jelly sandwich? But hold the jelly. Dude, that's me. That is totally me.
Hold the jelly, hold the peanut butter, and
Yeah.
put some salami and cheese on there.
It's like make me a BLT, but without the lettuce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and no tomato.
Yeah, and if just a tiny, no tomato.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just a bacon.
Right.
Bacon sandwich. Yeah, my mom used to make the best bacon and mayonnaise sandwich.
Oh, I'd eat that any day.
That was
I'd eat
pretty
that
damn
all
good.
day.
Yeah, that was pretty damn good.
Yeah, bacon with anything,
Pretty much.
you know.
If you put bacon on styrofoam,
Yeah.
I'd probably eat the styrofoam also.
You know, people put bacon on donuts. I don't get that at all. That's like, no.
They're not
I'll,
wrong.
I'll take a
No,
donut with
they're
bacon
not
off the
wrong.
donut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Peanut butter and honey. Well, I hadn't even thought of that. Wow.
There is somebody, I think it's, what's the other brand of peanut butter? Is it Jiffy or
No.
Skippy?
Skippy.
Skippy. So Skippy has peanut butter and honey blended. They have a mix. My kids used to love it, but now they're more into, we do the Skippy. God, we buy freaking tubs of it at Costco.
You know what I love on a Sunday morning for breakfast? I love English muffin, cut in half,
Yeah,
butter,
yeah,
peanut butter,
yeah.
jelly. And you know what else I used to do?
2/3 correct.
Check this out. What I used to do, I used to get bagels
Oh, yeah.
and I would slightly toast them. I'd put peanut butter and chocolate chips on them and then mash them together.
That sounds good. That sounds really good.
I know.
I have some chocolate chips in the house. I might have to try one.
Did y'all enjoy cooking with Lou this week? Because I'm thinking it might return next weekend as well. We'll have to see. I don't want to throw complex recipes at people that they're not able to make at home.
Yeah.
Well,
we may have to have an ingredients board that we could flash.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
And a quantity,
Right.
like a dollop.
Dollop.
I mean, that's so subjective when you think
Yeah.
about it.
I thought
Yeah.
dollop only referred to sour cream.
Oh, and well,
A dollop of daisy.
not only.
There's another ad slogan right there.
Yeah.
A dollop of daisy.
Is that a daisy? Is that
That's a brand.
I know it is, but is it like across the country?
It's in my refrigerator. I'm not sure.
Anna Graham says I made her hungry.
I'm starving too.
I still got the sandwich
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to be the one that ends up eating it.
Yeah, because that jelly kind of ruins it.
I'm sorry. If I'd have known, I'd have brought more bread. Okay, so Ronnie, straight ahead, we're going to play a little game with you that's called Who's Lying? Which one of us is lying? Okay, so stand by for that. But we have to get to our fantasy picks for this week. But before we do, I believe you have something you need to take care of.
Do I? Oh, this hurts me. This hurts me to do this. And in fact, as I do it, I'm thinking of an epic childhood game that I played.
Okay.
It was Clue.
Okay.
And right now, Colonel Corvette Ronnie killed Sweet Lou
Uh-huh.
in the studio
Right. With
with a trophy
a trophy.
right on the head.
Okay.
Killed him in the studio with a trophy.
Thank God it's not a helmet.
So
Uh-huh.
you won.
I did
You won last week.
with presidents.
Yeah, with presidents. I got to say, probably, I thought JFK was the surefire winner.
I did too, but Reagan pulled it
I
out.
thought Reagan was your
Yeah.
savior. He was the United States savior back in the day.
He was my
So
quarterback.
it's fitting.
Okay, so Ronnie, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I accept the trophy
Okay.
and the responsibility that goes along with it. I will try to live up to the role of winner of Fantasy Draft Picks presidential. I will probably give this trophy to a kid.
Well, just so you know,
Mhm.
make sure you can get it back because next week
Yeah.
it's going to be back over
All right.
here.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to put it over here for now.
Yeah. It'll be over there. Just
Maybe I'll just put it like in the corner of the shot. Like,
Oh.
let's see, maybe.
right.
No, it's in my way.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Unless you could have it
So-
somewhere right about here. This would be like perfect
Oh,
place
like this
to
one?
put it.
Like
yeah.
this? Okay.
There you go.
Like
Keep it right there.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go on with the show.
All right. It's time to do fantasy picks, draft picks, and we're going to do advertising slogans today. In order to do this, we're going to have to do rock, paper, scissors. I've already thought about this for about 3 days as to what I'm going to throw today. And if you're ready, Ronnie,
I am.
remember we got to do it in the shot, so a little
Right.
higher.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There we go.
And here we go. 1, 2, 3. Paper covers rock. That doesn't mean anything. That just
So-
means he gets to go first, or he can defer.
And you know the reason I chose paper?
Why?
I was just thinking your hand is probably frozen and locked up.
Yeah.
It's a rock.
This is the hand. That's the one that's bad. That's the finger that's bad right
He
there.
could really only throw rock.
I can throw 3.5 fingers and a thumb.
He might be able to do like Spock scissors.
Yeah, yeah.
But
This hand is fine. I don't have that problem. But the other one, the doctor says it's called trigger finger.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard of that actually. I think my father-in-law has that. They taped a couple of fingers together to try to get them to move in unison.
Right, I've heard that
Yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah.
One of the girls I work with, she had that problem done, had the surgery done, and she said she would never do it again because her other one is equally as bad.
Oh boy.
She would never do it again. And I got to thinking, Ronnie, if I had that surgery, which I could, I'm never going to do a barcord again.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You got surgery is not
That's a guitar
always not always the the absolute 100% solved everything to every
No.
problem.
And you know,
My shoulder surgery,
yeah.
yeah, leaves
Not
a
so
lot to
good.
be desired.
Well, I would like to say at this point, when it comes to your health, your doctor's not in charge of you.
No,
You've got to understand that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't put your faith in your doctor if you have a very good relationship with your doctor over the years, and that's terrific. I understand. But you are the one who determines what direction your, what's the word I'm looking for, recovery or,
which way your ship is steered.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're the one. Don't be
you hold the
influenced.
rudder, not your doctor.
Exactly.
Your doctor may suggest a route.
Mhm.
Yeah, whether you go that route or not, is another story.
No, not even going to go there. Okay. Ronnie, you're going to go first.
Oh, Kurt Hensley says I have trigger finger on both hands.
Yeah, like Jeannie.
Injections,
Never
never
surgery.
surgery.
What are those injections, Kurt? Is that steroid or what do you call it?
Cortisone? Probably cortisone.
See, because I've
and
had my share of cortisone shots. I had one in my elbow. Oh my
I'll tell you
God.
what, I get cortisone shots in my thumb after my car accident. It is the most painful injection
It is.
I've ever had because
and
they have
they
to.
let you know it.
The doctor uses an X-ray. He's got an X-ray
Mhm.
on his thing. He puts my hand down, and then he puts a ballpoint pen there and marks it.
Oh, you're giving me the creeps.
Then they pull it out and they stick it. It has to go in between the joint
Yep, I know.
of the thumb.
One in my elbow, one in my knee.
And my doctor and my orthopedic surgeon who gives me the shots, he's amazing. He's a great doctor, but he missed like 5 times, and he kept saying sorry,
Sorry.
sorry,
Sorry.
sorry. I'm
Sorry.
like, dude, I need a piece of leather to bite on here because this is awful. And it even after he found it and injected it, it didn't take.
It burns like hell.
Did not take. Now I'm still having to get cortisone shots in my shoulder after my car accident about every 6 months. The last time he gave me cortisone and lidocaine,
Oh,
wow, that was amazing.
oh, it worked good.
That did the trick.
So the lidocaine made it numb.
I think the lidocaine is like, Novocaine type thing,
Right.
cocaine type of thing. It's
It's
probably
in that family.
a numbing agent.
Mhm.
And it really, I went to physical therapy afterwards, and I instantly gained about 10 degrees of motion.
Wow, that's
So-
significant, really.
Yeah. So it really did the trick, but I'm due again. I have to make an appointment to go back to another shot.
You know,
I'm not doing it in the thumb though. There's no freaking way I'm doing it in my thumb again.
no, and again, same with my finger. I'll deal with it. It's just when it's really cold. But I have other things that go bad when it's really cold, like my right leg doesn't work. It it literally spasms and I can't
Well,
walk.
and Anna Graham,
Yeah, Anna.
she'll never make it in the NFL. She's on steroids.
Oh no.
She came back from boots on the ground, and 3 of the 4 last times she came back with poison oak, and the steroids make it go away.
I've never
So
heard of that.
that's called a PED. That's a performance enhancing drug. You're going to be out of NFL. You're going to be out of Major League Baseball. You're out of every major league sport.
Are you
So
out of YouTube?
yeah, we're going to keep you on here
Okay.
just because we kind of like it. We need our women represented. You represent it well.
All right. Terrific. Let's get back to our fantasy draft picks.
Yes.
Ronnie, you will be first up in the first round, and
I'm not deferring because the first one is the winner.
okay, fine, because I doubt that we have the same one. But
I don't know. Where's the beef? That old lady saying, "Where's the beef?"
you're going to be sorry that you chose that one.
I don't know.
My first one is going to win this whole thing right here. People on the live chat, are you ready for me? Are you ready? Can you feel me coming here? All right, here we go. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Yeah!
Okay. All right. That could take down the table. So
I think I'll just keep this right here next to me for now. Give me a break. Oh, and I have to go
you
again?
go again.
Oh, that's awful for you.
Yeah. No,
That's really bad for you.
I got 2 more really
No,
good ones.
no. You know what?
2 more really good
My
ones.
first choice, put the first nail in your coffin. My second choice, we're gonna get one of them hammer guns and seal that sucker up. Here it comes. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's catchy. It's pretty
It could
catchy.
catch on.
Yeah, pretty catchy.
Okay, so you go ahead, Ronnie, with your choice.
So, my number 2,
Mhm.
finger looking good.
Thought about that one.
Yeah, it's finger looking good.
Do they? Yeah, I guess they use that with the new kernel spots.
They're working it in.
Yeah, they seem to
Yeah.
be. Okay, so let's see. Then you're going to go one more time.
and I go one more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn
You
here.
better pick a good one.
I like this one a lot. What's
Oh, the
up?
Budweiser. Okay.
What's up?
Um, I'm going to call an audible here. I did have Where's the Beef on mine.
Yep, yep.
Here's another one that crossed my mind. The Ultimate Driving Machine.
I have that one. I have that one down here.
But I'm not going there.
BMW. Yeah, because it's not true. Corvette's the ultimate driving machine.
And they're slow on the uptake because they didn't get that one. They lost that one to BMW. Okay. All right. You know what? We talked about the flag today. We talked about living in California and gas taxes. We talked about kneeling during the national anthem. As an American who, when watching a NASCAR race on television, will stand for the national anthem in his garage, that person, and I know you're going to want to vote for me, has chosen Be All That You Can Be, the U.S. Army. Troops. Support the troops.
Yeah.
All right, so Ronnie, a quick review.
Okay.
Give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yep.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Be All You Can Be, U.S. Army. You have?
Where's the beef?
Okay. Clara was her first name.
What was it?
Yeah.
It's finger looking good.
The Colonel.
And then I think this. Oh wait, look at that! Freaking got a mosquito.
Damn, you got him.
Like freaking the Karate Kid right here.
Now we're going to have PETA shutting our show down.
And then my last one, which is honestly my favorite,
Uh,
because their commercials were amazing. What's up?
All right, vote for us now. Who has the best team? Okay, don't think of it as just one. Try to think of it as all three of them being on a team
Oh man.
to put it together.
Jason, who's obviously jaded, says Lou wins.
Oh, because of the Army.
Yeah,
Okay, all
yeah,
right. So the trophy is still right here for now.
right.
It's not going over here like this.
Not yet.
It's over
Not
here.
yet. It will be.
All right. That one is
As
strong.
soon as anybody but
Christopher
Jason.
Robin, which one is strong? The Budweiser or the U.S.
What's
Army?
up?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's still, they haven't used those commercials in probably 2 or 3 years. I still hear people saying that.
Yeah.
What's up?
Lou wins.
Oh,
Lori says Ronnie wins.
Lori,
that's-
Lori,
that's,
you're not
uh,
wrong.
2 Lou's and a Ronnie.
Yep.
Uh, it's been good ever since.
Oh.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't guarantee that cortisone shot is going to work every
Yeah.
time. I was wrong. I had 3 of them. I had 2 in the knee. My left knee is so bad, Ronnie. It's like bone on bone in there.
Yeah.
And now there's arthritis.
Yep.
And one time I got a shot in that knee and it didn't work. And then the next time it did. So,
See, I had knee surgery on my left knee also. Did they do it surgically? Did they go in there?
no.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
So I jumped a fence chasing somebody
Mhm.
in my patrol work. Came down a little awkwardly, kind of landed on my heel more than, you should land kind of on the balls of your feet.
Mhm.
Landed on my heel a little bit and instantly it felt like hot water being poured down
That's
the
the
inside of
swelling.
my leg.
Mhm.
And needless to say, dude, we caught the dude anyway, but it wasn't me that caught him. I was gimping. So they went in and they cut all the dangling meniscus out that's floating around in there. And amazingly, 10 days later, I was a basketball coach. I was coaching basketball. I was running up and down the court with the kids 10 days after surgery. But the problem is when they take out all that meniscus, the meniscus is your cushion
Between the bones.
Between the bones.
Yeah, I know.
They take a bunch of it out and slowly but surely it turns into arthritis. And so that's what I'm facing also is a buttload of arthritis in my left knee.
My feeling is a cortisone shot would help, but not for very long.
I have to tell you this. So when I had my shoulder surgery done, they give you what's called a block. I can't remember it. I'm sure it has something to do with it's some kind of an opioid that they inject, and it blocks pretty much all the feeling on the left side of your body. And I also have some arthritis in my left ankle because I've twisted it badly about a dozen times.
I've broken both of mine within 6 months of one another.
So I've got arthritis in my left ankle, arthritis in my left knee, and then I had left shoulder surgery. After I left the surgeon's office, for about 4 days afterwards, my ankle and my knee felt like I was 12 years old again. They were amazing. And then slowly but surely, in very small increments, it started going right back to where it was.
Exactly.
And now it's terrible again. So
Yeah, so the shot, I mean, it's a temporary fix. Go ahead, Ron.
Copper Dan is saying that the Smucker's Goober,
I know of that.
that's the peanut butter with the jelly swirled in
right.
as a premix. Yeah. Copper Dan, that grosses me out, by the way. I don't know if you listen, but I cannot do peanut butter and jelly. So we have something.
And
it might be
again,
Goober.
see, people are losing jobs over that. Okay, you got your peanut butter people, you got your jelly people on both sides of the fence, and they're working, But what happens is some guy comes in and goes, "Hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
What if?" And I know this is completely way out there, but what if we put the jelly in the peanut butter?
Well, who was the first person that put peanut butter with chocolate?
Uh,
You got your chocolate on my peanut butter.
You got your peanut butter on my chocolate. All right, it's looking like Lou's going to pull this one off. Any last minute votes?
Palmolive soap. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Where she's
Madge?
yeah, she's soaking in it.
Mhm.
In fact, you're soaking in it. What?
Why you got soap on your hands? You mind doing the dishes?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that this trophy is going to stay. Look, it's going towards Ronnie. It's going just like
I don't
that.
know.
It's going back over here to me.
I think we need to throw out the high and the low. So
Yeah.
that would be Jason.
Okay.
He's with the high and the low. So we'll throw his vote out,
All
and then
right.
I think I win.
Oh, just like that. That's
Yeah.
that's how that works. Wow. Okay. Sounds fair. All right. By all means, right here. No,
Yeah.
that ain't happening.
Otis Magoo, he's in. It
Yeah.
says
Good.
little girls have pretty curls, but I like Oreo. Oreo is my choice because it's the very best cookie ever. Uh, Ever was. Girls are nice, but boy, what icing comes with that Oreo. That must be a commercial. I'm not familiar.
I don't think I know
I
that
do
one.
love me some Oreos though.
Yeah. Dipped
That
in.
might be the best commercially bought cookie you can get. I mean, I like snickerdoodles and chocolate chip cookies, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong. But if you're going to buy a store bought cookie, I'm not sure you can top an Oreo.
Well, I
God, you
do
know
love
what?
my snacks at night.
Maybe that's in our next Fantasy draft.
Cookies.
Best
It
store bought cookie.
it already crossed my mind yesterday. Believe me, I thought about it before we went to this one.
Oh man,
Any more, Ronnie? You can't win them all. Lou beat you hands down.
Jason, you know what? Like I said, we're like this. A lot of times, you're wrong. You're just wrong. I'm sorry. This time, just with this Lou and Ronnie thing, you're wrong.
All right. Let's do one more thing before we get out of here today. Oh, I wanted to tell you a story before we get to that. So we do this live mass on Sunday morning, usually, sometimes on Saturday, whatever. Uh, and then we finish up. We try to turn it off.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't go
Sometimes
so
we turn
well.
it off. Sometimes we don't.
And then we take a little break, and I have some coffee and I have a cigarette, and then we come back into the studio and we shoot 3 or 4 episodes for the next week or two.
Right.
Okay. Um, Last week we shot, I think 3 or maybe 4.
I think we shot three because you said you had one already.
Oh,
I
right.
can. So we
Right.
shot three.
Yeah, we shot 3 of them. Now, I don't know how much. Some of you are creators, and some of you are just viewers. You know that these files are they're lengthy, so they're very big. It's like trying to lower a piano from the 5th floor building down.
Right.
That's how heavy these files can be in a figurative way. Um, so instead of downloading them to my computer, which we had been doing, what happens when I do that is my editing system bogs down because there's just the files are taking up too much memory on the computer. So anyway, what we're doing is we're taking them from Ronnie's disk on his beautiful camera that we have, and then we were downloading them to my thumb drive. Well, last week, I still don't know what happened, but they didn't make it on the thumb drive. And
And they
we,
got deleted off the card.
yeah, instead of doing copy to, I did move to, which I normally do, but it moved it somewhere and we can't find it. We don't know where 3 shows went. And somebody says to me, well, everything leaves a footprint.
Right.
No. Ronnie, I swear to God, with my limited knowledge of technology, I looked for a good 3 hours. Seriously, nonstop, without even taking a break. I was looking everywhere for that. That was 3 hours of I could have spent on editing,
Right.
and I'll never get those 3 hours back, nor those files. So that's what we do after we're done with the live show, and that's why you only got one show this last week.
And Jimmy Fast says they were probably
Best
the
show.
best 3 shows
Oh,
ever.
they were awesome. I mean, they were like,
We were on fire.
we were. Ronnie was funny. I was charming. Together, we were funny and charming. They were awesome. They're awesome. Well, guess what? Looks like we're doing them again today, Ron.
Yeah.
That should be fun, huh?
Yeah, we got them down.
All right. Right now, we're going to do a little game with you, and we'd like for you to play along. It's called Which One of Us is Lying? So each of us will tell you a story. One of the stories is true, but the other guy is telling you a lie. Now, Ronnie, which would you prefer to do? Would you like to go first or would you like to go second? You want me to
I think
set?
I think I'll go second.
Okay, I'll set the example.
Yeah. Now I want you to whisper in my ear if you want me to be the
Liar,
the liar or the truth sayer.
is there one better? Oh yeah, I can't ask you that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can I could seriously go either way.
all right,
I'm a pretty damn good liar. Okay.
all right. I'll go first.
Okay.
Back when I was in college, I guess it was about 1978. I had some friends who, one of them was a security guard for a housing complex. And once all of the contractors and builders went home, the area was evacuated. It was completely empty. There was no one there. And this person used to invite his friends over and they would smoke weed and drink beer.
Okay.
Well, I had this 1979 Fiat. Do you remember that car?
I remember that. Was it green?
Yes, it was.
Like
A fluorescent lime green.
lime green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had just put a stereo in the car and some new speakers in the back seat. And I thought it would sound really good if we could throw some fiberglass in there to kind of fill up the void and make it sound a
Right.
little more full. So this person who was a security guard said to me, "Come on out. There's plenty of that stuff laying around. You just pick it up and throw it in the back of your car." Well, so I did, and we fired up a what do you call it, a forklift, and we went driving around and found the fiberglass. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the ground; it was on the house,
Oh.
but we needed it.
Well, gotta have it.
So we started peeling off some of the fiberglass and then loading it up on the forklift. And we drove back to where my car was and we were stuffing the fiberglass in the back of the car when all of a sudden I heard this freeze. And so I turned to my buddy, the security guard, and I said, "What did you say?" Because I didn't say nothing. I hear this freeze. And I turned around. There's 8 Sac County sheriffs with their guns drawn on us.
Ooh. Dang. Dang, dang, dang.
Long story short, they let us go about 3 o'clock in the morning after notifying the security guard's boss and having him come all the way down to vouch for this person and then
That's
immediately
bad.
fire him.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. There's my story.
All right.
Is any of that true? Sure. Sure. Hmm.
Yeah.
Ronnie, your story? Which one of us
So,
is lying?
so mine is kind of a similar thing. Uh, Back in the early days, I had a friend named John.
Hmm.
You might know his brother Mike. So
Mike and John? Oh, yeah, Mike.
yeah, yeah. So John and I were driving around and we wanted to prank somebody. So we never left the house without probably like 20 rolls of TP in the back.
Hmm.
We thought, you know what? It's kind of worn out. We've done that. Let's go get one of those. And I don't see them used a whole lot anymore, but they're like A-frames with a big amber flashing light on top of them.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, they were like caution sign
Hmm.
type things. And so we're driving down Fair Oaks and about Sutter and over near Carmichael Park,
Right.
and they're doing some construction. They were like, hey, let's just grab one of those, toss it in the back of my Vega because it had a hatchback.
Hmm.
It'll fit easily. Toss it back there, drive over to Mark's house, our friend Mark that we used to be a busboy with, and then stick it on top of his car. So
On top.
on the roof of his car, it was painted a beautiful shade of primer gray. So it's not like we were too concerned with scratching it. So we are turning around and we're heading back towards Carmichael, and Highway Patrol passes us.
Oh.
Now the light is still
I
flashing in the
know.
back.
I know.
There's no way you can cover that up.
Even when you cover it up, you can see it through there.
And so I like sucked the seat cover off of my seat literally with my butt cheeks, and then he drove by.
Oh, my.
Like, holy cow, we dodged a bullet. Drove down a little bit further, and then we passed the CHP officer,
Great.
very likely the same one, and he pulled in behind us.
Oh, great.
And so you can kind of put the rest of the story together. Pulled us over, pulled us both out of the car, told us that the value of that thing was over $400, which makes it a felony, and that we were going to jail. Needless to say, I got a fat ticket and John got nothing, but it was probably about as scared as a 16-year-old kid
I
could be.
bet.
Yeah.
And that was a prelude to your law enforcement career.
That is when I decided I have to get into law enforcement so
Yeah.
I can do this to
Yes.
other 16-year-olds.
All right, so there you have two stories right there. Who is telling the truth and who is lying? We'll take your comments right now in our live chat.
Yeah. Well, Copper Dan says I'm telling the truth.
Lou is lying because what the hell? Fiberglass weighs next to nothing. Forklift, what for?
Oh. There's enough of it.
I'm not going to say anything more about my story. I've stated what I stated. True or
That's my
lying.
story, and I'm sticking
No,
to
I'm
it.
sticking to it.
That's a good Judge Judy slogan right there.
Ronnie is lying, says Jason.
Uh-huh.
He also said Lou is telling the truth. Copper Dan says Ronnie is telling the truth. Okay.
Okay.
And we're waiting on a few
Forklift
more
is a
of you.
misleading detail, says
Okay,
Christopher Robin.
All right. Or is it? Or is it? Maybe that was our method of transportation, getting to some of the houses that were far away from where the security thing was.
Oh, was this out on what's the name of that street?
Fair
Prairie
Oaks?
City?
No, not that.
Oh.
That was
because
the rock plant.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
the security guard Dave.
No, not that guy.
Because we did, our band used to practice at a construction site where our buddy was like the night watchman, I think, wasn't he, or something?
Yes.
And yeah, so he could have gotten.
Mike says cops never lie.
See, that's actually not 100% true. Cops are allowed to lie to you. Did you know that?
No.
So when we're doing a little interrogating
Yeah.
and we say, by the way, your two buddies in the other room,
They said you did it.
they've already rolled over on you.
Yeah.
That may or may not be the truth.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah, we're allowed to lie.
See how you learn stuff on this show? Even
Yeah.
I learned stuff on this show. It's great.
Rick says that I am telling the truth and that you're lying.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep. So, and we used to use that a lot. Even if you don't have crime partners, you can always say, you know what? There's video.
Oh yeah.
There's video, dude.
I just got done watching a video.
I'm sorry. And then you can almost see what their reaction is. It's like, I hope there is video. Yes, please bring out the video.
Oh, you called my bluff, huh?
Yeah. You're like, ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
You
go.
know that video stuff I was just talking about? Forget all that.
Yeah.
That's lying. All right. Anybody else want to weigh in here before we tell you the truth?
Ebby7 says that Ronnie fibs.
Ronnie fibs.
Yeah. I do sometimes.
He's a big fibber.
Quite often to my wife. I
Ooh.
hope she watches this sometimes.
Great, Ronnie.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Not this wife.
Oh, the other wife.
My other wife.
On the other side of town. Your other wife, I remember. Yeah. Okay.
Crossed arms is a sign of deception. You know what? That is true. But I've had my arms crossed the whole time.
And so have I.
Yeah. So.
We can't both be lying. That wouldn't be much of a game.
Yeah.
Okay. Crossed arms. That's fine.
It is true though, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to hold it in.
Oh.
There are a lot of
For me, my hands are cold.
There are a lot of psychosomatic things that people do that you cannot control.
Yeah.
Like if you ask somebody, did you steal that road sign? And I say, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I can't help but nod because I did. And people, you just can't control some of those things.
All right, friends. I think enough people have weighed in here.
J Street says, or you could have gas. Like this is like the gas thing also.
I don't think I
Yeah.
have gas. It doesn't feel like it.
One of us does.
Great. Great, Ron. Thanks. All right. Ronnie, why don't you go ahead and divulge who's lying?
So it was me
Uh-huh.
because we never got caught.
Mm-mm.
We put that thing on top of Mark's car. He lived over in Garden of the Gods.
You didn't get a hefty ticket.
I didn't get a ticket. We didn't get caught. However, a CHP officer did pass us while that thing was flashing in the back of my car.
Well, see, we used to do that with, remember my old Ford pickup truck?
Yes.
We used to do that too when we would TP a teacher's house. We'd go out to the Sunrise area out here when they were just first building the malls and stuff.
Yeah.
And we would snatch those road signs, the flashers was what we called them. And we'd throw like 12 of them in the back of my truck. And then we'd have to drive all the way back to El Camino Avenue.
Yeah.
And in the back, even though we'd have them covered up, you could still see them
They
all
flash.
going off at different times.
They flash very, I'll tell you, for the old technology, those things flash like LEDs.
Yeah, they must have had Energizer batteries because
Yeah.
they kept going
Yep.
and going.
They
and
flash
going.
brightly and a long time.
Yeah, and my story is true. We did use the forklift because the houses where they were doing the fiberglass way down at the other corner from where we were, and we thought, well, hey, heavy machinery, let's drive that.
Yeah. You didn't have your Fitbit on, so there's
No,
no sense walking all
no.
that way.
Fitbit.
Why would you walk when you can take a forklift?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the fiberglass. We just used it for transportation. But yeah, we had about 6 or 8 Sac County sheriffs with their guns out pointed at us. That's the only time in my life I've ever had a gun pointed at me. It was pretty scary.
It's not that great, is it?
No, it's not.
There's a lot of things better than that.
Yeah, and so much could have gone wrong. So
Yeah.
much more could have gone wrong.
Yep.
So there you have it. There's another our first installment of which one of us is lying, and who told the better story.
Yeah.
That's called embellishment.
Yes,
See,
it
Ronnie
is.
only told half a lie, not a whole lie. And maybe I just told you half the truth. All right, Ronnie. Let me just check my phone, make sure there's nothing there I forgot that we want to talk about.
Dave's got a good point here. He says the Talk Faster, the Vikings game is going to start soon.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll get out of here then.
Pert near.
We got
15
started
minutes.
late today.
Yeah,
So
we did. We got a late start.
some honorable mentions. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, that is a good one.
I thought so too.
Let me see what
When
else
it
I had
absolutely positively has to be there overnight.
here. Oh, how about this one? Breakfast of Champions.
Oh, Wheaties, yeah.
Wheaties. Yeah.
Got milk?
So this was going to be my number one, the King of Beers, Budweiser, because you know what? That used to be on used to be on drag racing cars. I don't think did they ever have it at NASCAR?
No, I don't think so.
I know that. Well, I know they had Miller Lite.
No, they did. They did. The King of Beers. I remember.
Who drove that? Oh wait, it was freaking Junior, wasn't it?
Yeah, Budweiser.
Junior drove Bud car.
Number 8, and then
Yeah,
number
yeah.
88. Yeah. Have I ever worn that jacket that I have of his, the leather
No.
jacket, number 8, red,
Ooh.
Budweiser?
Nice.
I don't have any reason to wear it now. He doesn't drive the number. He doesn't drive at all.
No.
All right.
It's
So there you
complicated.
have it. Anybody want to weigh in before we get out of here and the Vikings take on the world?
Jimmy Fast's messages was retracted. I wonder what it said. It
I
was
didn't
probably
see it.
it's probably epic.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Jason
was-
Dent says, "Yep, I was right again." No, you were right once, Jason. The trophy thing, you're wrong.
Ooh, them's fighting words. All right, we've got a day planned, so
Kurt says, "Unfortunately, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
yeah, no, I don't
No.
think it does.
Sometimes the penicillin shot gives it away."
I've only been to Vegas twice, and I don't think I got in any trouble at all. Somehow,
I went to Vegas for SEMA and was pretty unepic.
I think I told you I'm just not a gambler.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
gamble.
don't have a lot of desire to do that.
I did not gamble one single penny when
Yeah.
we were in Vegas.
I probably played a few slot
I
machines.
ate. I just
Mhm.
ate. We ate at the most epic steak places ever, and did the Caesar's Tahoe buffet at $64.95.
Wow, was it worth it?
No,
No.
it I mean, it was pretty good, but it wasn't $65 worth.
That's a lot for a meal, man. Imagine
Yeah.
a piece of prime rib you could get for that.
Yeah.
All right, my friends.
Yep.
Don't squeeze the Charmin.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, it is. Mr. Whipple, was that his name?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. He's a weird son of a gun.
All this squeezing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, dude,
All right, friends.
get a room.
Ronnie, once again, wanted to let everybody know that if for some reason you don't have time for what is, you know, two handsome guys who are very smart, who are funny, who are on screen. If you don't have time to watch our show, is what I'm saying, you'll be able to find it in podcast form now. I'm happy to report that as of this week, we are on iHeartRadio now.
Yep.
iHeartRadio podcasts. And Ronnie tells me that you have to do the search for Gallagher Entertainment. So please do that until I can get it fixed over. It's a long story.
It's something about how iHeart reads the YouTube channel.
Exactly. And the
So-
YouTube is under Gallagher Entertainment, not Men Are So Smart. But in any case, do a search. You can listen to it in podcast form. We're pretty darn proud of that. That's pretty respectable being on iHeartRadio, don't you think?
Yeah, and also Spotify,
We're on Spotify.
also iTunes.
iTunes, we're available there.
So you know what I just noticed? Look how your shirt, the lines in your shirt, kind of match the lines, the background. It's almost like camouflage. You almost look like a floating head right there.
You know what? We should do a floating head show.
That would be kind of cool.
Y'all want to see that?
Yeah,
Floating head show?
we'll just wear the same color as our background, and we'll disappear except
Be
for
like
our
that
heads.
nerd commercial where they're in the subway and they bounce heads up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm bringing a football helmet next
When
week.
it
if we
rains,
do
it pours. That's Morton Salt.
Oh yeah.
I remember that vividly. Okay, my friends.
I think we're about out.
We are. We got stuff to do. We know you do too. We got a
Yep.
football game we're up against.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't checked out our website, please do. It's menarsosmart.com.
Some fun stuff on there.
Couple of surveys, that kind of thing you can take. On Facebook, you've probably seen it going across your screen here. It's at Men Are So Smart. It's that on Twitter as well, if I'm not mistaken. And where else are we? I forget. It doesn't matter. Okay, so for Corvette Ronnie, I am Lou Gallagher, and this has been Sunday Morning Mass. Thank you for your time today. Go in peace. May peace be with you. And we'll see you for our next show on Tuesday and then Thursday after that. Have a great rest of your weekend, okay?
Go Niners.
Okay.
Thanks.